Hey! What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Grant Frog, coming back at you with another video. Today, we're finna react to Things You Didn't Know Existed, Part 4. Let's get it and let's go.
This is just a small part of what awaits you in this video, so let's go. When you're a hare and it's not a fairy tale, surviving in the wild isn't easy, especially if you're being hunted by a golden eagle. But look at this guy. I mean, he jumped over the bird, dodging it at the very last moment. Okay, one more time. Amazing. 2020 has been pretty eventful. With all the news, you might have missed the crash of the bolide over Japan. It's worth a look. In November, a particularly bright meteor was captured on many videos and then exploded in a big flash. By the way,
that's what you call a bright star.
Aren't seen very often, but when, if not in 2020? China knows exactly what it's doing when it invests large sums of money in renewable energy sources. For example, some of that money goes into giant floating solar power plants. What could be more modern and environmentally friendly than solar energy? So there's a $157 million power plant in the eastern province of Anua. This 150 megawatt giant thing could well be considered the largest in the world. It's capable of powering about 94,000 homes, plus no harm to the environment. You've probably heard of fish that can jump out of water because they feel like it, but what about fish that jump out of the water for berries? I'm not kidding. Some species of the genus Brycon feed on low-hanging berries and fruit and pluck them right off the tree. When the water level in the river drops, Brycon
you gotta eat somehow.
The monkeys eat the same fruit and often drop it into the water, all in all the guise of a diet. A human life may not suffice to track some of the processes that are happening to our planet. Fortunately, we have satellites. The space agency NASA recorded a time-lapse video that captures the melting of the glaciers and ice sheets of the Earth. Thanks to the video, you can see the changes that have occurred since early 1972. I think you can draw your own conclusions.
Yeah.
If you live in a fairly cold climate, you're probably used to such a phenomenon as frost patterns on the windows. Their appearance is directly related to the humidity of the air, its temperature, topography, and cleanliness of the window. In fact, it's just frozen moisture on the glass that forms bizarre patterns. But how beautiful they look.
For real!
Waterfalls are things that consist of water. Even the firefall wouldn't work without it, but what about sandfall? In March 2015, a video appeared showing a so-called sandfall, a phenomenon in Saudi Arabia during which sand supposedly behaves like water pouring off a cliff. Now imagine this. You go outside and suddenly see 3 suns in the sky at once. You close your eyes, you open your eyes, nope, still 3 suns. You're completely sober, and you're definitely on Earth. Well, congratulations. You've witnessed a rare atmospheric phenomenon called
3 suns?
It creates several luminous spots, false suns.
3!
Some of the things you need to keep as far away from each other as possible.
Fire on hair? No!
Tell that to a guy named Ramadan Edwan. This Palestinian hairdresser
you don't just wake up and put fire on your hair?
Using fire. He didn't come to this method of styling because he was bored. The barbershop is located in an area where there are constant power outages, so the master uses flames instead of a hairdryer. Edwan treats clients' hair with a flammable powder or liquid, sets it on fire, and styles it. And apparently everyone's happy. Well, there's just no one to write a negative review.
I was just like,
sit in a chair of such a
why they do that at?
Now I'm going to show you an image that seems familiar to anyone who has had the Windows XP operating system. Do you recognize it? The picture with the short title Bliss is probably the most viewed image of all time. The picture was taken by photographer Charles O'Rear, and Bliss is located in California. Now, however, only the outline of the hills reminds us of its former appearance. The area has been converted into vineyards. Perhaps of all the leaders of the country, Kim Jong-un can be considered the most mysterious. Not much is known about him or his life, and all
the dude that say he ain't got no
speculation. Nevertheless, one thing is absolutely certain. Kim's bodyguards have a habit of running alongside his car. Not riding in the car next to him, but running beside him. And this is somewhat confusing. Nevertheless, these are the men who form Kim's immediate security. They're chosen from among the conscripts of the Korean People's Army, subjected to many checks, including a thorough examination of family information. After that, the grueling training begins. And then, yes, some of the bodyguards have to run near the car. They say the movie In the Line of Fire is to blame. Kim watched it as a kid. It had a similar scene with the president's bodyguard, so good thing Kim didn't watch The Naked Gun. Nope, it's not computer generated. It's not the end of the world. It's not a remake of Hitchcock. This phenomenon is called swarming. Several hundreds or even thousands of individuals join together in a huge cloud and move as one unit. The structure of the cloud is such that light passes freely through the flock to each bird. They now can fully control the situation around them. Scientists suggest that in this way, birds avoid attacks of predators. The larger the flock, the harder it is for the falcons or hawks to choose a prey. The Darvaza gas crater located in Turkmenistan, and its history, as usual, began with human intervention. In 1971, geologists discovered an accumulation of underground gas near the village of Darvaza. As a result of excavation and drilling, they came across an underground void that caused the ground to fall through and created a big hole filled with gas. And I mean really big, nearly 70 meters in diameter and 30 meters deep. The derrick with all the equipment and vehicles fell through, but luckily there were no human casualties in this incident. And then the interesting thing happened. To keep harmful gases from escaping, it was decided to set them on fire. Geologists assumed that the fire would die out in a few days. Boy, were they wrong. Very, very wrong. So much so that the gates of hell's fire is still burning today, and nothing can put it out. The Yamal Peninsula, north of western Siberia, is a very cold and underdeveloped place. But this is where the largest refrigerator in the world is located. No, you don't have to imagine something huge, white, and two-chambered. This is a natural refrigerator that was carved right into the perennially frozen rocks back in the middle of the last century. What for? Well, to store fish until the summer navigation period, when the produce could be shipped to the mainland. As I said, it's a cold and underdeveloped place, so there's no choice. The permafrost fridge consists of 3 galleries, 100 to 140 meters long, located about 13 meters below ground level. There are about 200 caves here, and the temperature is stable at any time of the year, minus 15 to 17 degrees, even if there are severe frosts on top. All right, everything's clear with frozen fish, but what about frozen alligators? Of course, no one keeps them in special care, but these animals do just fine without help. Although, actually, alligators aren't designed to survive low temperatures. When confronted with the cold, they, of course, they freeze, but they stick their noses out of the water. Wait, what? When the temperature drops, alligators submerge most of their body underwater, leaving the tip of their snout behind. This ingenious strategy allows them to breathe while the ice sticks to their snouts and keeps them nearly upright underwater. Reduced body temperature, slowed metabolism, a dash of patience, done. You are adorable and have survived the cold. It's about time to go eat someone. While alligators are learning to adapt to conditions in which they weren't supposed to survive at all, owls already had their superpower, and that's the ability to fly without making a sound. Owls are known as silent nocturnal raptors, capable of flying just a few centimeters from their unsuspecting prey. Not all birds can do this. Pigeons, for example, are incredibly noisy, but they don't need to be quiet. Breadcrumbs usually don't try to run away. Owls are another matter. Their feathers absorb aerodynamic noise and suppress vibrations arising when the bird flaps its wings. During flight, the mechanical energy released by the feathers is converted into heat, and owls move silently. Not like me at night, headed to the refrigerator. Usually people aren't exactly thrilled about contact with jellyfish. And if you've been stung by these creatures at least once, you know what I mean. Now, imagine a whole lake where jellyfish live, and none of them can hurt you. This is Jellyfish Lake in Eelmalk Island. Several thousand years ago, the lake sank in the ocean due to shifts in the Earth's crust. It contained a number of jellyfish, which were there without their natural enemies, and began to do what any creature in their place would do, breed really fast. Some claim that there are several million jellyfish here, and over the millennia of their quiet life, their stinging cells have almost atrophied, which means that the jellyfish simply have nothing to sting with. No wonder divers just love this place. And while I'm on the subject of jellyfish, another one, disco jellyfish for relaxation. It's called bloody belly comb jelly. Although that's not a scientific name, and it's a comb jelly, not a jellyfish. But look at this creature. The deep color is necessary to hide the glow of creatures from predators, and the
like we going live in that hit.
It's just that this comb jelly really loves disco. Do you know how many other amazing things and phenomena there are on our planet, and how many are outside of it? It just amazes me. So as usual, if you want me to talk about something specific, write it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell. Oh, you get the idea. We'll see you soon.
What y'all think about that video, man? That was crazy. But as usual, it's your boy Craig, and I'm Crack the Frog, and we finna come out with another video. Nay!
Oh, baby, I've been living life. Baby, I've been living life. Oh, baby, Liddy every time. Find out when you subscribe.